here at Grind, Pray Interview Series. My name is Amanda Schoolfield, and we're here with Randy Wilson. Randy, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
I'm Randy Wilson.
Who is Randy Wilson? I see that on your Facebook page.
Yeah. So I'm a father. I'm an executive director. I'm a community leader. I'm a podcaster. I'm a coach. I'm a believer in Christ. That's pretty much who I am.
You wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
Mr. Randy Wilson.
Yes.
So, what is your grind?
You know, I really thought about that driving down here today because I checked out a lot of your previous interviews, and I was like, man, what's my grind? When I think about my grind, I think about, all the things I'm doing.
Right.
But I think for me, my grind are really the sentiments of what make me do anything. It's the pieces. My grind is the pieces of what motivates me. You know, just knowing that people depend on me.
Right.
Knowing that I have a son and I have a wife. Knowing that I have a family, I have employees. You know, knowing that I got responsibilities. My grind is all the things that break me down to really do.
So your family.
Of course, yeah, that's number one.
And then the people that depend on you.
Yes.
So you see that as what motivates you to grind.
Yes.
And it becomes.
Yeah, because see, I mean, grind. That I like the word in a lot of ways, but you know.
Well, what does grind mean to you?
I mean, grind means to me what I would imagine it means to everyone else from the standpoint. It means to go hard and to go to do. But for me, to go and do, it's the things that's most important to me that make me do that. Otherwise, I just do whatever I wanted to do. You know, so
Right.
for me to be accountable and to be dependable is those things that matter the most. That's what pushed me with the grind.
Right. So, well, I know you just started a new well, not too new. Podcast.
10, 11 episodes.
Okay.
Fairly new. 6 months, probably.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your podcast about?
I have a culture and society-based podcast where I pretty much utilize my experiences in having very complicated, difficult conversations from the mental health world. I take that experience to have conversations that are difficult or not always difficult. At the same time, I try to empower and highlight people that have developed a level of success and to use that as a model, really, for giving the community an example. And so, so far, so good. The podcast has been successful and it's growing. And, you know, I'm making a concentrated focus right now on really trying to identify different demographics so that as my podcast matures, over time, I'll be able to really learn where my niche is. Like right now, I got primarily male followers.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of the things that we're talking about primarily attract men. However, I got an upcoming podcast coming with Deshauna Barber, Miss USA 2016, in probably about a week. And so I'm hopeful with that podcast that it'll allow me to just show, you know, diversity and maybe I'll be able to pick up some female followers as well.
Well, what kind of topics do you talk about on your podcast?
So far, a lot of the topics I've talked about has been related to my guest. So I've had I recently just did a podcast with Nicholas F. You can check my podcast out on all podcast channels, including YouTube, because I bring a visual podcast as well. But I've had Young Money Yon on my podcast. I've had Red Rum on my podcast. I've done discussions around mental health, community health. I've had conversations around education with John Bibbs, who's the principal of Richmond Preparatory Academy, and Antoine Green, who's a education reform specialist. Did a podcast with AJ Brewer just about the Manchester Blackwell area of South Richmond. Had Anthony Morrow on my podcast, which was a big deal for me. He's a former NBA basketball player who's playing right now with Ice Cube in the Big Three. So I'm really going after key people, you know, because
inspiring people.
Good people who provide examples.
Right. So you say your background, you have a lot to do with mental health. You touched the issue of mental health a lot.
Yes.
What was it like working with people in that field? What was it like working with people with mental illness?
Yeah, I still do. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, you know, my whole approach to working with people with mental illness, like we're working and having this conversation right now, or just like how we have involvement with everybody, is that I just treat people like people.
Right.
And I recognize, and that's the problem in the mental health field, in my opinion, is that we treat people like clients. We treat mentally ill people like children. And for me, you know, I don't know about you, but in my life it's pretty stressful and complicated too. So on any day, it's like I could be on the line. And I think what helps me be successful in mental health is that I'm just very much who I am with them, where I allow them to see my flaws, I allow them to see my issues, I allow them to see me as close as possible to the level that they are. You know, I have a very person-centered approach.
A lot of people don't do that when dealing with my grandmother. She suffers from, I don't want to say suffers, she lives with schizophrenia and bipolar.
Okay.
And so I have a history with people with mental illnesses. I used to go and just kind of help her out at, you know, her home that she was living in, and I kind of got close to a lot of her friends and, you know, talking to them, and a lot of them feel that way. They feel like they're not a person. You know, people just kind of walk past them, don't want to, they ask them, did you take your medicine? Did you take your pills? But they won't have a conversation with them.
Unfortunately, our community, to some degree, contributes a lot to that. You know, they contribute to, I mean, not being receptive to the fact that people are people and we all have differences and we're all unique in our own special ways. And, you know, a lot of times people within the community give off this persona that you're not welcome, or that you're not acceptable to be here, like you should be hospitalized, or you should be incarcerated, or you should just be in this place, when the reality is we have to learn how to all coexist together.
Right. To be a community, to actually take in those people instead of pushing them out. Yeah. So you said that you are a man of Christ.
Yes.
So how does praying fit into your life?
Yeah, well, I always feel that I can pray more, that's for sure.
Can't we all?
But you know, I think for me, whether it's good or bad, like, I recognize that I'm blessed. I recognize I'm blessed, and I recognize I'm blessed because I believe part of it is just because of you kind of reap what you sow, you know. And I believe that earlier in my career, some of the things that I did, my intentions were right, and I did things with the genuine intent of really trying to help and improve people. So sometimes I just feel like right now in my life, I mean, I just thank God for just allowing me to have the blessings and privileges and access to the things that I have, because everybody hasn't had the opportunities that I have. So, you know, my prayers are not scripted, but it's just a matter of, unfortunately, I pray probably more when something's bothered me. I probably do. But I also recognize that, man, I have a lot to be thankful for, right? Every day. Just by having a wife that loves me and a son that's healthy, and I still have both my parents. You know, I've lost a lot of people, but I try to keep focused on the things that I have.
Yeah, and that's definitely a big blessing to have both. Nowadays, you know, just the way the world works, a lot of us don't have that.
I know.
You know, two parents at you know, in your 30s, 40s, it's just like, that's a 30s. Big blessing. 30s. I'm just giving it for everybody out there. Because that's the age then you start losing your parents.
Yes, it is.
I didn't realize it until my best friend lost her mother, which was like a mother to me. Yeah. Rest in peace, Mom. And you know, when that happened, we felt like we were so young. We just felt like, oh, they're gonna be here forever, you know. So that is a big blessing to get, you know, into that age and still have both of your parents.
Very simple. It's like, thank you, God. Just thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yes.
So is that your favorite prayer?
No, I mean, I don't have a favorite prayer. You know, I don't have an answer to what's my favorite prayer. My favorite prayer is when I feel that I am as humble, at an humble state as possible, that I've been able to block all other things out and just feel like I'm having a straight dialogue with God.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about other people, but I can be honest and say that I struggle sometimes just by keeping my focus. I don't know about you. You grew up in church?
Yeah.
You ever been in church where you're supposed to be focusing on something, but you're still distracted because you're thinking about what you want to do? Well, sometimes my prayer's like that. Sometimes I'm praying. Put it this way, sometimes I'm not actively praying, but it's like it's going. But I really want to try to make growth and making a conscious effort of really just creating time for prayer. Not just when I need something, or not just when something's bad, but just being better at,
But in my opinion, there's no real way to pray or any real time to pray. You just kind of do it. Yeah. And me personally, I go throughout the day and I'll be in 7-Eleven and, I'll go in there looking for a Dr. Pepper and there's one Dr. Pepper left and I'm like, just something that's small, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, this is going to be a good day. And that will start me as I'm walking to pay for my Dr. Pepper. I'm saying, oh, you know what, and thank you that I have gas, and thank you that I have this, and thank you, just there's no right time. You can just kind of...
Yeah. When I pass by, like if I'm driving down the highway and I pass by an accident, I just immediately feel like...
Right.
You don't know what's going on 15 cars ahead of you. You don't really know what the future holds.
Right.
And when you pass by something and you see it, to not think that could be you, or that could be someone's mother or father, or, that there always just reminds me of that. God is in this.
It's like a little tap on the shoulder. Hey, did you pray today?
Yeah.
Right. Well, Randy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to listening to your podcast.
Please do. I'm looking forward to having you all on my podcast.
Yes, I will definitely come in. But y'all heard that, right? So I'm going to be on the podcast soon.
Thank you.
Yes. So go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at R Wilson Podcast, R Wilson Podcast on Instagram, Randy Wilson Podcast on everything else that's podcast channel. I strongly encourage you, though, to check me out on YouTube just so you can capture the visuals of what we're doing.
Right. Well, thank you guys for joining us again at another Grind Pray interview. My name is Amanda Schoolfield. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Bye. People like grind, pray.